No brakes, no filters. This is Life is Fast. I'm your host, Steve. Let's dive right in. On tonight's episode, we are here with the one and only Heath Hannah, number 61, going to be making his rookie pro debut this season for the ATVMx Championship Series. We're going to get his perspective tonight on a work-life balance. How you doing, Heath?
I'm great.
Doing good. So I'm excited for this episode. I've been watching you progress. I know you've been working hard, so it's been hard to kind of get together here for doing one of these episodes. So I'm glad we'll be able to sit down and talk a little bit. Let's tell the viewers, though, a little bit about yourself, from your name, where you're from.
My name's Heath Hannah. I race ATV motocross, and I'm from a small town in Canton, North Carolina.
Nice. One of those Southern boys.
Yeah.
So tell the viewers, how'd you get started? Have you been racing since you were really young? Did you just get into it the last few years that I've known you? Tell us where you began.
It all started when I was 4 years old. I got my first quad. I got a little Chinese job, but fast forward it to where I started racing was I was 7 years old, and I got invited to come ride a indoor event from Shane McElrath's dad, Max McElrath. He's a pretty cool
Nice.
dude. He built my motors and stuff growing up from when I was nothing doing locals. But yeah, first race started when I was 7 years old and started from there. Started showing up every weekend.
Awesome. So you've been doing it your whole life then. I know you've
Mm-hmm.
been working your ass off in the gym and at the track, really trying to build up, your skill set, and it's definitely showing. Now, let's get into this pro debut this season. I know you're down at Decker's training facility down in Florida. How's that been going?
It's been good. We've been grinding down here, riding 2 days and taking a day off and hitting the gym, and it's been that kind of same pattern. Just keep it going. Working with my trainer at 94 Fitness, Michael Perkins. He's one that's been keeping me going, and my buddy, my mechanic down here, he's been helping me. We've been getting kind of dialed in.
Awesome. So I know it's probably nerve wracking. I know you're going to be excited. What are the feelings and emotions right now? I know the season starts pretty soon, but we're going to catch up with you again once the season starts. But where are you at right now? How are you feeling as far as, your nerves and your confidence and where your skills are right now that you've, gotten them to?
I mean, I for sure I feel confident that I can do it just because it's not like I'm going to be, I'm not, it's not like I'm trying to on moto, but I'm just want to know where I'm at. Yeah, I feel like I won't know
Hmm.
where I'm at until I get to that first race, get on the gate, feel that, and just be able to figure out where I'm at. But I'm confident. I feel like I'm getting ready. I'm preparing myself and just ready to do it.
Awesome. What do you think are your strengths right now? And what do you think are not necessarily your weaknesses, but where do you think you can build up a little more to feel even more comfortable for that first gate drop this season?
So right now we're building up, trying to like be more starting out from the race a little bit quicker because usually I get faster as I go and get more comfortable. And that's
Hmm.
kind of my strong set. Is the longer the race, the better I am. And also, I'm trying to work on getting a little more weight off, so we'll be a little bit faster and be a little bit more, get more power on the bike.
Awesome, dude. I know you've been working hard. You've lost a lot of weight. You've really got yourself into really good shape these last year or so. So that's definitely something to be proud of. I know, you know, I want to do the same thing, but I just don't have that drive that you guys do. That's you guys, like I've said in my previous episodes, you motocross riders are a different breed. That's for sure. There's nobody else like you guys in the world. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a different mindset when you know you gotta do something.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, I wish it was in me, but it's just not. So I'll just deal with the dad bod.
Mhm.
Now, I know your parents are your biggest supporters. How do they feel? Are they excited? Are they more nervous than you? Are they okay with you going this year as your rookie? Or did they think you were going to try going rookie, last year? What are their thoughts and what are their feelings with your riding skills and how you've been doing?
Now they feel the same exact way I do. They're anxious, excited, and ready to get cut, but they still know there's that little bit of work needs to be done before we get on the gate and do what we're supposed to be doing. They're excited. They're helping me out a lot. Looking for them, I wouldn't be where I'm going. It's a huge shout out to them for letting me be able to do this and take time and come down here to train.
Awesome. Yeah. Same way. My parents still help me, especially running my business, when I need my, kid to be watched and,
Uh,
they take care of him when I'm traveling every weekend of, these races. So shout out to my parents too. Love you. Do you race for an actual team or are you a privateer?
it's kind of both. But I race for United Motorsports, me All Star, the music racing team. Chase Cunningham's our team owner. He's a great guy. He brought me along. I think it was 2 years ago. He brought me aboard, and he's been a huge help to my program and just everything that he has with United Motorsports and Brett and them being a huge help too. Brett's a great guy. Brett helps me with the suspension for the music components and just having my car, having his knowledge and the people help me with that background.
Awesome. Hey, that's like I've talked about in my previous podcasts. Motocross is it's more than just a community. It's literally a family, and then to have the right teammates behind you, pushing you, just having your back, just it builds a confidence that you can see, you know, as soon as you step onto the track. And I've seen it with you. You get up to that gate, you're not scared. You're ready to rock and roll. And that's, I'm really looking forward to this season, especially now that we have several of those pros that retired. You got Nick Janusa retired, Jeff Rastrelli, you know, Wesley Wolf, all these guys retiring.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on the 2026 season now that people like yourself, Damian Huber, Tyler Marlin going to be running his second full season,
Uh,
pro? What are your thoughts on the season coming up with, those big names being done now?
I mean, it's kind of sucks that they're gone because I was hoping to have them still here as I rode. Because just being on the track with them guys, know where they've been, who they've raced against, just to have that and go to race against them is a whole another experience. But I feel like it's kind of a great year, and I don't see why anybody who had the chance to go wouldn't take it because it's a less number. So it's going to be still a fast class, but there's not opportunity to grab to get up there and be successful in the class.
Yeah, there's a lot of you guys that are moving up. Like I said, Tyler's running his second full season now. You got Joey Norris, coming
Mhm.
up, in the ranks again. He did good last season, and you guys just keep pushing each other. And that's what I like to watch, even when it's Joel or Chad, those, other big time guys that have been doing it for years in pro class.
This,
They push you guys to get better and faster and stronger. And that's what I love. Just like Deckers right now, Joel and those guys being down there with, training with you guys.
mhm.
They're, I know you guys are gaining a lot of knowledge from those guys down there. And and I think it's probably an easier setting, obviously, because if you're not actually in a race, you could really just watch a guy like Joel or Chad ride and really pinpoint their strategies and their skills of jumps, turns, starts, and really be able to focus in and really pay attention, as opposed to just jumping on a bike and it's an actual race. It's hard. You can watch their lines if you're right behind them, which really helps because you can see where you're losing time and where they're making up time. But I think it's probably a lot easier. You would probably agree, during the training on the off season, you could probably focus a little more, huh?
Yes, sir. I mean, you can focus on what also you used to witness the right surroundings when you watch everybody ride every day. So you get the opportunity to learn knowledge and also actually see it and capitalize on it and try to do it yourself. That's the biggest help is just having kind of like just there and you can learn and see a puzzle piece and try to put it to fit your puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Finding the right pieces to that puzzle. Absolutely. That's a great way to describe it.
Mhm,
There's a lot of skill sets, even some of the other guys that run with our D6 series that I work with,
mhm.
watching some of these guys go from C class to B or C to A, it's always great to watch their skills develop season after season. Even with, the young 50 riders or the beginners, there's a few of them that I've watched for the last 3, 4 years, and it's crazy. One of the two of the names rather, I should say, stick out are Liam Clark and Ethan Cornell. Both of those guys have just really stepped it up the last 1 or 2 years. You got Liam Clark sending whips now. So now I've witnessed and taken pictures of him whipping. So he won't let me forget that now. You got him and Ethan both sent bonsai at Sleepy Hollow
No,
on their 90s this season. Like some of you guys don't even hit that jump, until you're in A class or even in the pro class, it's amazing to watch the progression, not just in, the older adults like you, but the young ones. And I know a lot of those guys train, the young ones, and they get those skills started and they get dialed in, and, they just keep building it up just like you guys. I'm really excited to see in the next few years who else starts stepping it up to advance, the BA class, and even see who's coming out of the nationals or even D6 to try and jump up to the pro class again and start filling more slots. I really want to see a more full gate, as we keep going. And part of the other thing we've talked about a few times on here is promoting. You guys deserve the same promotions and advertisements as the Supercross guys because you guys are doing the same thing. You're just doing it on four wheels, and it's a hell of a lot harder, in my opinion, on four wheels. It's You guys are all grouped into the same different breed, so to speak, for sure. But
yes, sir.
when you're jumping on four wheels, you can't correct those quads like you can a bike. So, in that respect, you deserve a little more credit, a little more promotion,
Yes, sir.
and hopefully, as we keep building and more people start watching, we can get this to really keep growing and getting bigger and bigger. Because I know the potential's there for sure. We just need to find those right sponsors that can, step up to the plate and really get this business to grow. So let's jump into Supercross a little bit. Anaheim A1 happened. Did you
Yeah.
watch it?
Oh, yeah, I watched it. Went to Zach's house down the road and we watched it.
Okay. Yo, that was a weekend of racing. I mean, and thank God Barsha, Mookie, they're both doing good. That was one gnarly crash that those guys had on that gate drop. I mean, I've seen you guys have some gnarly wrecks, but that was something for sure. I mean, of course, nobody expects that. Nobody wants it. I'm just glad that Barsha was able to, acknowledge that he was, awake and all that, and Mookie was okay. I know I think it was he dislocated his shoulder. They both did their updates, on social media, so that's good. How are you feeling about Deeks? How are you feeling about him defending his title again this season? I was kind of hoping he was just going to jump into that 450 and not worry about defending again, but I guess they chose to keep him, on that 250 for the indoors. So, what are your thoughts on him this season?
From the get go right now, it looks like the nerves got to him or something because he came back. But he had a good run. I mean, I feel like he can do
Mhm.
it. He just gotta start the race off different. You can't be chasing it from the back because no, I mean, you see it for me every week. I always come from the back trying to clear the front. It never works. So you need to start. It's
Yeah.
key.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have the best start, that's for sure. But, speaking of starts, Jorge Prado, Eli Tomac, those KTMs, they were hustling this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Eli getting the win. Prado did great. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything out of him, honestly. No offense, Jorge. I mean, watching him last season on that Cowie was not very impressive, to say the least, I guess. Him just jumping, onto that KTM. Same with Eli. I mean, Eli beast mode, doesn't matter what the hell he rides. He's always, insane. But
Mhm.
I was so stoked to see him get that win this weekend. And even Prado, he did so good. I wasn't expecting that. So I'm
Mhm.
really hoping that, the two of them, even with AP, I know AP wasn't feeling too good after that wreck with Cooper Webb. I'm really hoping that between the three of them, they can really team up in these races and keep pushing each other and keep to the front of the pack. That's for sure. I think it's going to be a really good season. I think the team changes give a lot of confidence. Sexton, I mean, he flaked. He just was not himself
Yeah.
on that Cowie. But I mean, Jason Anderson did great too, running with Ken Roxon this
Mhm.
weekend. I mean, I really think the team changes were a really, really strong and really good idea. I think it's going to be great season, especially once we get to the outdoors. And honestly, when Deegan jumps on his 450 for the outdoor, in motocross, I think it's going to be something. I'm kind of glad that Jets out, but I'm glad that Hunter has a little more of a chance now that he's not, racing against his brother right now yet.
Yeah.
Because I really like Hunter a lot. To me, he's very humble when he races, very down to earth, and I want to see him do really well this year. It sucks that Jet got hurt again and he's out right now. Jet's been in that. He's been in that fame already. It's time for Hunter to have a little bit more of that spotlight this season to get started. I mean, he came really close. I think it was 1 point shy last year. He lost to Jet to win. I mean, at least you lose to your brother, which is cool. But I want to see him get some more spotlight. This season. All right, so let's get back to the team, your bike, and your sponsors. Who are your biggest sponsors? Who do you got? Do you have any new sponsors this season? Stepping up. Who's coming back to sponsor you? Let's get into that a little bit.
We're definitely back on United, and me All Star and Hosted Racing Team. They're always going to be there. I mean, that's my roots so far.
Mhm.
And we're running all the same components with music racing, and we got some new motor work we're going to do from different people. Jeffrey Bish is from Bish Motorsports has been a huge helper of the team because he's doing all my wire harnesses and been doing my motor work. And then Crazy Indian Motorsports is another guy that's been helping me out a lot. My mechanic buddy that's down here with me, and then just mostly last year, but we got a lot
It's
of
always,
support.
when you guys take a podium, I don't know how the hell you guys remember all your sponsors. I mean,
Yeah,
even I, I know you guys have so many, and I know some of you guys just keep a list and literally just read off a list. That's the easiest way. I mean, I wonder. I always wondered if those sponsors, you know, get salty if you forget to mention them specifically on a podium. I've always wondered that. I'll have to find some sponsors. I'm gonna have to ask them that question because
yeah,
I've always wondered if they get salty or if they know, like, you caught up in the moment, adrenaline's still pumping. Plus, if you got a long list of 15, 20 different sponsors, that's a lot of names to remember.
oh yeah, for sure. But it helps, probably if you got your bike over there, you can look out for the gas tank down. That's what helps out the most. Is the
That's true.
graphics.
That's true. That's true. Get make sure they're all under Amen.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Speaking of graphics, you guys have a new theme this year? Or are you guys sticking with that teal kind of color pattern that you had last season?
it's kind of in the works right now. I think we might do something different every other round. I don't know yet. Might do some retro stuff, but we're gonna see. I'm still waiting to
Okay.
get the full proof back from Chase, but I don't know what he wants to fully let out there yet. So we'll see when we give him a chance to make.
Won't give any away. I was talking to Ty from FTR. I don't know if you saw that. We were talking about I think it was Brian Jenkins' bike, him
Hmm.
doing a little something special with like an electric blue this season. So looking forward to seeing that. And that's another thing. I think you pro guys really make some sick kits
Hmm.
for the special races like 4th of July and Memorial Day, all the holiday races. I
Yes, sir.
love seeing you guys switch up the kits, for holidays. I think it's great. It really adds an extra little flair to the bike and to each race. I'm actually didn't happen this year. I'm hoping next year, but I got I got a little theme coming for UFP race photos.
Yeah,
So we'll see. It's already started. Ty and FTR already started it. The whole theme is it's there for the most part. Just has to be dialed in to a little more of the detail,
gotcha.
and then I'll find that right person to rock. And it's gonna be front to back, jersey, helmet, the whole nine. It's gonna be all UFP race photos theme. And I don't think I don't think I've ever seen a bike with what the main part of my theme is. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff, but I don't. There's been some close stuff on D6 rider. There's one rider that's kind of in the realm of it, so to speak.
Hmm.
But I think once Ty finalizes it, people are gonna be shocked when they see it.
Yeah.
I haven't really told too many, so now, I mean, now it's out. Now everybody that watches this will know. Man. So let's talk about the tracks. You guys are going to be racing Deckers for the first round and going back to, man, what's the name of that track in Tennessee?
Muddy Creek,
Yes, that one. What are your thoughts on the tracks this season? Which one are you looking forward to the most?
probably Muddy Creek because it's an hour from my house. So I grew up racing there. Like
Okay.
that's
Oh,
my home track because I grew up racing with Marshall and some of the older pros like Lucas Lamus and his brother that races there because he raced all the locals together all the time. And that was the Mega Ultra Series we raced that was for Victory Sports was at Muddy Creek every other weekend.
home field advantage.
Mm,
All right. Wish I was going to that one. I wanted to, but it's just like you guys. It's a lot, and
yeah.
with working full time, having my kid full time, running the business, and sticking with my D6 that I'm committed to. I'll be at the last four races this season of nationals. So I've never been to Briarcliff, so I'll be there.
Hmm.
Never been to Baja Acres. I'll be there. And then Pleasure Valley, which I love, and Budds Creek again, which I love. I'll be there as well. And
Okay.
then as I continue to grow, hopefully I can get to more of these nationals. I would really love to follow more of them. I'm really disappointed Daytona's not on it this season. That really sucks. I love watching you guys, live with Daytona, but it'll be exciting for you guys to race at Deckers this season. That'll be pretty
Oh,
sweet.
yeah.
And he just redid the track, right? What things has he done? Is it different? Is it the opposite direction? Different jumps, turns? Give a little background on what you guys got going on down there.
It's kind of hard to explain. It's not as long straight away as it was, but they've had some turns. It's more technical. It's more technical of a track. A lot of jump and turning, trying to figure out jumps, and you got to make a lot of precise moves when you're on this track. Sometimes.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I really want to get down there and check that out. So,
Mm.
maybe next off season I'll be able to get that to work, or during Christmas time when you guys all go down there, maybe I'll be able to get a chance to go down and check it out. I haven't even been to Janusa's either, and he's only half hour from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm me and Tyler Moreland, we're fairly close. We only live about 10 minutes from each other. So
Uh,
we're really close to Janusa's facility 15. I was supposed to be at the Turkey Bowl. I had some last minute stuff come up. So I wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. So hopefully next year I'll get to that. But you know, it's I'm kind of excited to see my D6 riders this season at Field of Dreams. That's our home field track. Again, that's a close one. It's only about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic from me. That's actually where I started my photography journey was really there. So I'm excited. There hasn't been any quad races there in years. So it's going to be an interesting one. And that's our opener. So I'm interested to see how the track is because I haven't been back there in a couple years with traveling with D6 and the national series. So I'm excited to see what changes they've got. And like I said, I've never been able to witness a race on their national track. So, it's going to be exciting for me too to be there and be back there and watching these guys, rip it up. Do you have any tracks that you are not necessarily looking forward to because you feel you don't perform as well at them? Do you have any tracks that intimidate you a little bit, maybe?
Not really. Every time I show up to a track, there's some stuff I like, some stuff I don't like with every track. Um, you just I always just deal with it. I mean, everybody rides the same track, no matter if you like it or not. It's just the way I look at
Perfect answer. Spoken like a true professional.
it.
Man. So let's see. Talked a little about where you're from. We've talked a little bit about you coming up with the ranks, sponsors, some tracks. What else do you want to tell the people on our podcast? I mean, we talked about work-life balance, so
hmm
you we talked about that a little bit. But what else do you want to tell our viewers?
uh, I mean, past 2 years I've worked a full time job doing concrete work, not really much training, and working long days doing that, and going to the gym after working those long days. So it's hard, definitely hard to fluctuate with training and be able to ride and get your riding schedule in when you don't have a riding schedule. For the longest time,
Mm,
my riding schedule was just ride when you get to the race. There really ain't no training going into it.
yeah, yeah, true. That training is definitely a big part of it.
Yeah.
Do your parents travel with you to all the races? You guys travel as a family when you do the races, or how's that work?
Yeah, we travel together.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm sure that's a fun time. I mean, my family, we never really traveled like that. Our vacations were always going to my grandmother's house up in New England, so that was always a good time. But we never did traveling like you guys. So, I mean, I enjoy it myself. Getting to different places and seeing different people. Even I traveled to Tennessee. That's actually where I want to live. I was down there in 2017 for a fishing venture, whatever the heck you want to call it, excursion. And
hmm
it's it's definitely a different way of life in the South
Oh yeah.
compared to being up here in Jersey and Philly area. You get a lot of stares because people know you're not from there just
hmm
by the way you dress or by the way you talk. Um, I know my friend Jennings, they're down there in Chadburn, North Carolina. They moved down there probably a year ago, I guess. And when I went down to visit them, same thing. You pull up to a gas station and people are looking at you like, where the hell are you from? And then they see a bright ass green truck with Jersey plates and they're like, what the hell is this? What are you doing here? But it's the one thing I like about the South is I would say 95 to 98% of the people are just down to earth and are polite. Unlike up here where, man, you get some road rage. Even on my way back, I went, like I told you, I was buying another lens here for my camera today after work and trying to get home through that traffic through Philadelphia is just like, oh my God, the the amount of people that just don't care and they're just
hmm
I want to move south very bad. I want to buy a big piece of property in Tennessee, Kentucky, somewhere down there. I really fell in love with Tennessee. I was on Dale Hollow Lake. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I was down there for almost 2 weeks carp fishing with guys from all over the country, and a couple guys from New England actually were there. But it's just such a different way of life when you move south. There's nothing like it. Same as, I mean, opposite of when you move up north, New England, Vermont, Maine. It's a whole different way of life, and I like the change, the pace of it. I'm born city boy, but man, that country life is just, that hits home for me. I can't wait. Have a nice piece of property. I can go hunting, go shooting, go riding, have, a farm with some, animals, live off the land. Can't do that here. My tiny ass house. I barely got room for my camper in my driveway.
Yeah.
Can't raise no damn horse here.
Mm-mm.
I'm looking forward to that. What are your thoughts on us northerners? Do you like coming up to PA in Maryland at all, or you're not a fan of it?
It just depends on where I'm at up there. They were up there not long ago. I was up towards Baldwin, where JB's neck of the woods to go to Jeffrey Bush's house. And it was kind of flat. Where I live in the Appalachian Mountains. We're used to being near the river and where it's just mountains everywhere to where, like, here in Florida and then up there it's flat. You're like, yeah, I don't feel surrounded by something. So it's like, where's my safety?
Yeah, and I remember you guys got hit really hard with those storms last year
Yes, sir.
because you're in the western part of North Carolina. Yeah, so you guys got hit hard. Okay, uh, your particular town then, did you guys get hit really hard right where you live, or how was that? I know it was rough for sure, and it was
We we were
chaos.
we were very lucky at my house that we were high enough in elevation where we didn't get water, but the water crested 32
Okay,
feet through my town, and it took out
damn.
a lot. So Western North Carolina as a whole took a lot of destruction then. With my brother being a firefighter, he worked 7, 8 days
Okay.
straight, didn't see him. And at that time, I joined volunteer firefighting with him. And I was helping out with the community, and we were trying to get the big storm clean up, doing welfare checks. And then it's just also doing concrete work. I was doing that too, having to rebuild and do concrete and put places back and do house foundations and slabs and people that lost driveways and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I know back, forget what year it was. I guess it was 2011 or 10, somewhere in that we got hit with what was it, Hurricane Sandy, I think,
Mm-hmm.
when it came tearing through the Northeast. Man, we not luckily in my area, I'm far enough inland. We didn't really get hit with anything except, just normal flooding, from heavy rain. But I delivered high-end cars to New York City almost every day. And let me tell you, I remember specifically the one time all the gas stations were shut down because nobody had gas. And I'm pulling what was it, a 24-foot enclosed trailer or whatever it was with a friggin' not a Rolls Royce, a Range Rover in the back, and
Mm-hmm.
there's just cars parked everywhere that you're supposed to be driving, and it's just rows of cars parked because they're all waiting for the gas station,
Yes, sir.
to get gas. And I remember there were so many roads that were blocked. And then I'd have to go down to the shore here in Jersey. Just the amount of sand that was just blocks and blocks and blocks inland. It was just, it's something you never want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I guess part of you can be glad that you see some, destruction like that to make you really, understand how truly blessed you are, with what you have.
Oh, yeah.
It's humbling for sure too, seeing stuff like that, so, it's hard. We've had a few tornadoes touch down close to where I live, and it's been minimal destruction, I guess you could say. But when those hurricanes hit, I do know Jersey Shore just gets obliterated sometimes, and with Sandy, it really did. And I knew you guys got hit so hard with that storm last year. It was devastation is probably the easiest way to describe it, but unless you're there witnessing it, you'll never understand the true level of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad. I mean, that's something I didn't know about you. I didn't know you volunteer with the fire department. So that's, again, something new I learned. I had no clue. Your cement work, how does that work with all your training? Are you just taking leave of absence? Did you quit? How does it work when you guys, work your full-time jobs and then you stop for, a month or two at a time for off-season training?
Right now, it's kind of a leave of absence. Just take a break from
Okay.
work. With me being a third class, I worked as much as I could to build a safe income here, and they were okay with it because of racing. They race, they do drag racing, so they understand every bit of racing.
Okay.
Yeah, and they actually one of my race sponsors right at my field. It's Buddy Motorsports in Leaderville, North Carolina. They're great people. Were a blessing to me.
Awesome. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good that you got that in then with that.
Mhm.
It's hard to work in a place that you necessarily have the same interests outside of the business. I mean, I dispatch trucks, so
Mhm.
that's got absolutely nothing to do with racing. It's got nothing to do with photography. So, I mean, it's hard to even talk. Everybody at work, just they're all sports people. So they're constantly talking about the Eagles. And I'll say it, the Eagles lost yesterday. Just saying to the 49ers. Yeah, pretty sad.
Yeah.
Had a couple get a little jab in there for those Philly folks. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go, Heath. It's been great talking to you. I won't
Mhm.
keep you too long. I know you got to get some rest. You've been really putting in the work down there at
Oh, you're
Deckers.
good.
You know, we'll definitely catch up with you. Do you have
Mhm.
any last words for our viewers?
Um, not much really. Just some sponsors I'd like to shout out.
Go for it.
Uh, I thank Jesus Christ for keeping me safe mostly with my racing. And my mom and dad, run for them. Where I'd be at in my life, if where I'm in racing, they're a huge help to the program. My girlfriend, Media All Star, Motorsports, Stop Fitness, Simplicity, Auto Service, Gappers, Bitch Motorsports, Factory 43, Crazy England Motorsports, Slate Concrete, Bell Horse Patriots. Robert's a great guy. He does t-shirts and stuff. He
Oh,
does
okay.
a lot of cool stuff. And that guy's a great guy, Robert Nagy. Look him up on Facebook. He has a cool site and does a lot of t-shirts and everything that he sells.
Nice.
Stigma, RP Performance, ATV Logistics, and Primer Black. Both of
And
them
there we
guys,
go. And send me that list. I'll include it in the description of the videos too. I'll tag
for
things to let
sure.
you know.
I'll let you ask them.
Yeah, send me that list. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
let you go for the night. Get some rest, my friend. We'll check in with you, at that first gate drop. I won't be there, but I'll be calling you and I'll be watching, seeing how you're doing. Have yourself a good night, Heath.
We'll
This
do.
is Life is Fast. Why ride slow? Have a good night, everybody.